Every year, on the full moon night of the month of Vesak, Nepal transforms into something that's hard to fully describe. Butter lamps flicker across thousands of temples. Monks chant softly through the night. The scent of incense drifts through streets lined with marigolds and prayer flags. And from across Asia and the rest of the world, pilgrims begin their journey toward one place.
The place where it all began. Known globally as Buddha Jayanti, Buddha Purnima, or Vesak, this is the holiest day in the Buddhist calendar. It marks not one, but 3 defining moments in the life of one man, Siddhartha Gautama, the man who became the Buddha. And there is only one country on Earth where you can celebrate this day at the exact place where that story began, Nepal. And that place is Lumbini.
So, what exactly is Buddha Purnima? Despite the different names, Buddha Jayanti, Buddha Purnima, and Vesak all refer to the same sacred occasion. Jayanti means birthday in Sanskrit. Purnima means full moon, and Vesak is the name most widely used across Southeast and East Asia. But this day is far more than just a celebration of birth. According to Buddhist tradition, the full moon of Vesak marks 3 extraordinary events in the life of the Buddha, each believed to have occurred on the same calendar day across different years. In 563 BCE, Siddhartha Gautama was born in Lumbini. In 528 BCE, he attained enlightenment beneath the Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya. And in 483 BCE, he passed into Mahaparinirvana, final liberation, in Kushinagar. Birth, awakening, and liberation, all on the same full moon. That is why Buddhists call this the Triple Blessed Day. And on this day, you can feel that weight in every corner of Nepal. To truly understand this festival, you have to understand the story behind it. It begins over 2,500 years ago. In a quiet garden in Lumbini, Queen Maya Devi paused during her journey. Beneath the shade of a sal tree, she gave birth to a child, Siddhartha Gautama. Legend says that the newborn took 7 steps immediately after birth, and with each step, a lotus flower bloomed beneath his feet. Astrologers predicted that the child would either become a great king or a great spiritual teacher. His father chose the first path. Siddhartha was raised in a palace, surrounded by luxury, beauty, and comfort. He was shielded from suffering, from illness, from the harsh realities of life. By every standard, his life was perfect. But perfection, as it turned out, was also a kind of prison. At the age of 29, Siddhartha stepped outside the palace for the first time. What he saw changed everything. He encountered 4 sights: an old man, weakened by age, a sick man, suffering from illness, a dead body, carried in silence, and finally, a wandering monk, calm, peaceful, and free. For the first time, Siddhartha saw the reality of human existence: suffering, impermanence, and death. That night, he returned to the palace, looked at his sleeping wife and newborn son, and made a quiet decision. He left. No grand announcement, no dramatic farewell, just a silent, irreversible step into the unknown. For years, Siddhartha wandered. He studied with teachers, practiced extreme asceticism, and pushed his body to the brink of death. But he realized something important. Neither luxury nor extreme suffering held the answer. Then, one evening, a young woman named Sujata offered him a simple bowl of kheer, sweet rice pudding. He accepted it. He regained his strength. And then he sat beneath a large fig tree in Bodh Gaya and made a vow. He would not rise until he understood the truth. That night, under the full moon of Vesak, he attained enlightenment. He understood suffering, its causes, and the path beyond it. The tree became known as the Bodhi tree, and Siddhartha Gautama became the Buddha, the awakened one. He would spend the next 45 years walking across the Indian subcontinent, teaching anyone who would listen. His message was simple but powerful. Desire is the root of suffering, and freedom comes through the noble eightfold path, a way of living with right understanding, right action, and right intention. He taught kings and farmers, rich and poor, without distinction. At the age of 80 in Kushinagar, he entered Mahaparinirvana, his final liberation. Today, more than 500 million people around the world follow his teachings, and it all began in a garden in Nepal. That is why Nepal holds a unique place during Buddha Purnima. Many countries celebrate Vesak: Sri Lanka, Thailand, Myanmar, Japan, and India among them. But Nepal is different, because here you are not just remembering the Buddha, you are standing where his story began. And what makes it even more special is that Buddhism here is not preserved behind glass. It is alive. In the Kathmandu Valley alone, there are over 10,000 Buddhist shrines. Most are not tourist attractions. They are part of daily life, places where people come every morning to light a lamp, spin a prayer wheel, and begin their day. On Buddha Purnima, that quiet devotion expands until it fills the entire country. And there is something else unique to Nepal: the way Buddhism and Hinduism exist together, not as rivals, but as neighbors. On this day, you will see Hindu families offering lamps at Buddhist stupas and Buddhist monks visiting Hindu temples. It is a kind of harmony that leaves a lasting impression on anyone who experiences it. So, what actually happens on Buddha Purnima in Nepal? The celebrations are not loud or commercial. They are calm, deeply personal, and filled with meaning. Before sunrise, devotees gather at sacred sites like Bodhanath Stupa and Swayambhunath. They light butter lamps, sometimes 108 at a time, symbolizing the letting go of worldly desires. The soft golden glow of thousands of lamps in the early morning darkness is something you don't forget. As the sun rises, monks begin chanting. Pilgrims join in a practice called kora, walking slowly, clockwise, around the stupa, in a form of moving meditation. Anyone can join. You don't need to be Buddhist. You simply walk quietly with respect. Throughout the morning, rituals continue. Statues of the Buddha are gently bathed with scented water, a symbol of purification. In courtyards and temples, something beautiful happens. Food is shared. Kheer is prepared in large quantities and offered freely to anyone who arrives. This simple act honors Sujata, the woman whose kindness helped the Buddha on the night of his enlightenment. Accepting a bowl of kheer from a stranger becomes one of those small, unforgettable moments. As the day continues, senior monks give Dharma talks, open teachings about the Buddha's life and his message. At the same time, acts of generosity, known as dana, take place everywhere.
People offer food, clothing, and support to those in need. Community kitchens open across cities, welcoming anyone without question. By evening, the atmosphere transforms again. Stupas glow under the light of thousands of butter lamps. In Lumbini, processions move through the sacred gardens, continuing late into the night. And across Nepal, the sense of something timeless, something deeply human, lingers in the air. If you ever wanted to experience Buddha Purnima, there is no better place than Nepal. Because here, you are not just observing a festival, you are stepping into a story. A story that began over 2,500 years ago, under a tree, in a quiet garden, and went on to change the world.